Cameron Indoor Stadium here in Durham, North Carolina. It's the Duke Blue Devils at 5-1 and the Utah State Aggies at 4-0 out of the Mountain West Conference. Mike Cousins with two-time ACC Coach of the Year, Seth Greenberg. Glad to have you along. And Seth, Utah State 4-0, and they may play in the Mountain West, but they're not intimidated to come here to the heart of the ACC.
Utah State has a rich basketball tradition. In fact, they're the 6th winningest program in college basketball since 2000. They've been to 8 NCAA tournaments in that time. They will not be intimidated in this environment.
First real competition for Utah State. Quite the opposite for Duke. They've lost to Kentucky, but have played Georgetown and played it close with Yale. Mike Krzyzewski picking up win 950 here at Duke on Wednesday. Opening tip controlled by the Blue Devils and into the hands of Matt Jones. Les Jones, Tim Comer, and Tim Clockerty, the officials this afternoon. Ball on the floor. And a jump ball going the other way.
Duke starts off. Grayson Allen has been as good as any player in the country in the past 2 weeks, averaging 22 points a game, but more importantly, it's how he scores. He is always in attack mode.
Full court pressure from Duke to open things up. Darius Perkins across midcourt, the senior from Florida. Plumlee knocks it loose from Elston Jones.
I expect Utah State to try to spread out Duke, try to drive him, get in the lane, and move him.
Moore driving on Ingram, fades away, but draws the foul as he hits the deck on the baseline.
Jalen Moore is a really tough matchup. Besides having great hair, which is something I really can't comment on, he's a hard matchup because he's 6'7". He can put the ball on the floor. He can shoot it with range. Has struggled shooting it this year, but last year shot almost 40% from the three.
It is worth noting, Seth, that the hair has been 4 years in the making for Jalen Moore, the native of North Logan, Utah.
Mine's been 59 years in the unmaking.
First points on the board belong to the Aggies. Last year went 18-13. Their season ended in the Mountain West Conference tournament. Too good for Moore. Again, that foul on Ingram, who's been a vital part of the 1-3-1 zone defense utilized by Duke in the early going this season. Allen triggers a three, top of the key. It's short, his own rebound. Stick back, no. Right block, the putback is good. Emil Jefferson has two.
Emil Jefferson, one of the best offensive rebounders in college basketball. The ball just finds him. He pursues the ball on every missed shot.
Perry trapped in the corner. That's exactly what Duke wants. Jones and Plumlee come over to take it away. Allen's on the run.
Coach K, the main focus for this basketball game is to make sure that they can maintain a defensive intensity. He doesn't want to have to play that 1-3-1 zone.
Jefferson drives and goes right by Moore for his second bucket. And you see that intensity on full display as the Blue Devils pick up full court.
And that's the problem when you have a young basketball team. Getting them to understand and defend instinctively, that's the challenge, to maintain the defensive intensity for the whole possession and communicate.
Smith left it short. It's picked up under the basket. Smith, through a double team, scores off the window. 4-0.
And that's a perfect example. You've got to finish the possession. You've got to stay with the play. You can't get ahead of yourself. Right there, Duke struggled finishing the possession.
Outside his scoring range. Gives for Jones. And that's a foul on Darius Perkins. First season at the helm for Tim Duryea after 14 seasons as an assistant. What's the biggest difference for him now, jumping from the assistant role into being a head coach?
Well, the first difference is it's the difference between making suggestions and making decisions, but really it's time management. You've got so many different people pulling at you, whether it's administration, whether it's fundraising, whether it's the media. It's a totally different job. He's kind of like the Bill Guthridge of Utah State, former North Carolina assistant.
Beautiful post move, and Jefferson can't finish. He's got all 4 Duke points so far. 2.5 minutes in. Smith going baseline. And that's a foul on Jones. Mike Krzyzewski very calm before this one with his young team. 950 of his 1,023 career wins here at Duke.
He understands with this young basketball team it is a process. He needs to be patient with them. And first and foremost, you've got to get this team to play hard, compete, and be connected defensively.
Jones, a nice finish over the left shoulder, scoring over Plumlee.
Now, if they keep on sticking it on the block like that, I'm not sure how patient he's going to be.
Now Plumlee trying to answer, drives, fouled, and the bucket is good.
This is the difference in Marshall Plumlee right now. He has the ability to catch on the block, but he can also face, attack you, and finish through contact. He is one of the most improved players in college basketball. He was terrific in Champions Classic against Kentucky, getting to the glass. Now he's showing some versatility.
Numbers up this year, averaging 26 minutes a game thus far after last year. About 9.5 minutes a game were a career high. Vastly different roster than it was a year ago in the national championship season. A 3-on-2 break. Jones kicks to the corner, and Smith triggers a 3. In and out. And there's Ingram in the mix for the rebound. Picked up 1 foul early and pestered on the perimeter by Smith.
Ingram is really a talented young player. He's getting used to the physicality of the game and playing through contact. He's got to play lower to the ground with a better base.
They went out of a 1-4 set. Jones a step back and clangs it off the front iron.
This is a Utah State team that will run on opportunity, but they're going to try to spread Duke out and attack him off the bounce.
Ball out of bounds off of Elston Jones. It's Duke basketball, 16:09 here in the first half. No Derek Thornton here in the starting lineup for the Blue Devils. Is that a message from Mike Krzyzewski?
I think you've got to be able to hold your players accountable. And Mike Krzyzewski doesn't start Thornton. He struggled a little bit against Yale. He gives Ingram the start because he played very well against Yale. That sends a message not only to Derek Thornton, but to the rest of your team.
Looking to get it inside for Jefferson. Good feed from the top for Plumlee. Big to big, and he scores with the left hand. 6 now for Emil Jefferson.
Really good job of attacking that 2-3 zone, isolating Emil Jefferson on the block. That's where his game has improved.
More offensive foul, pushing off against Grayson Allen. His first foul. Duke with a 3-point lead early on, powered by 6 from Emil Jefferson.
ESPN's exclusive present.
And a quick substitution as well for Duke. We see Derek Thornton, the freshman out of Findlay Prep, in the game for the first time today.
Utah State man-to-man, and Shane Rector for Utah State enters the game. Look for him to attack off the bounce and be aggressive. Look for the pace of the game now to pick up for Utah State.
Grayson Allen gets his first 2. The lead stretches to 5 for Duke. Rector for Perry, who drives the lane and had the mismatch against Plumlee.
Great execution coming out of the timeout, isolating off that ball screen, and Perry doing a good job of attacking and playing to and through Marshall Plumlee. Coming out of this timeout, this quick little zipper cut, but watch how Perry attacks the hedge defender. In the old days, you could bump that guy, but with the new rules, you got to keep your hands off, you got to keep your dribble alive. As an offensive player, Perry with a terrific finish. Great execution by Utah State coming out of the timeout. Here's this 1-1-3 zone. It's UNLV back in the day played this zone. Boyd Grant, the old Fresno State coach, is the architect of this defense.
The Aggies rotating well, but Allen is open in the corner for 3, shooting 50% from deep. He's got 5.
And shooting it so confidently, but Duke, they see the zone, they get the ball reversed, and they get the ball to their best shooter with room and rhythm.
Smith, their leading scorer, with 17. Plumlee backing off, and no bucket for Moore.
Duke will play faster with Thornton in the game, and Jones and Allen especially, because they can play ahead of the defense. They'll get more scoring opportunities.
High-low feed. Plumlee fading away with the left hand and draws the foul as he was undercut by Lou Evans. Transfer from Tulsa, his first foul.
Duke saw the zone, and what did they do? They got good ball reversal, good penetration and kick, and then find Grayson Allen. He's averaging 2.5 threes a game, but more importantly, the patience and poise to move the defense when they see the zone and get the ball to Grayson Allen, who's shooting 50 from the three.
Considering the discussion of how young this team is that impressive for where they've maybe had some deficiencies on the defensive end, their patience on the offensive end to find the open man?
And especially when Thornton goes to the point guard, all of a sudden now, Matt Jones is to his natural position. Grayson Allen can play freed up, and the ball moves a little bit quicker. The ball at times gets stuck with Matt Jones at the point, and they don't play as fast or as freed up offensively.
It's a 12-2 run for Duke right now after Plumlee hits the bench after his second trip to the free throw line.
And this is a typical Duke run here in Cameron. It'll be interesting to see how Utah State handles this.
Drive to the basket, and an open path for Julian Perry, the sophomore from Texas, has 4.
When you play Duke, they're going to defend the full floor. If they defend the full floor, you've got to drive the basketball, create spacing, and drive it.
Ingram, top of the key, can't connect. Into the corner. Evans going baseline. And a whistle on the baseline. 13-13 here in the first half. Tuesday night, Big Ten ACC Challenge presented by the U.S. Marine Corps. A doubleheader on ESPN. 7:30, it's Virginia, Ohio State. And then number 2, Maryland and North Carolina. Marcus Page questionable there for the Tar Heels with that fractured right hand. Says maybe he'll be about 90% against the Terps.
How about Virginia averaging 81 points a game? Now, their tempo is down, but their points are up. Perfect example of the new rules.
There's some youth for Duke. Ingram had picked up his second foul. Chase Jeter, the freshman from Bishop Gorman High School, is in and immediately picks up his first foul.
This is a Utah State team that's played at the Thomas and Mack at UNLV. They've played at the Pitt at New Mexico. They've been in tough environments at the Marriott Center at BYU. They are not going to be intimidated in this environment.
And a size mismatch there as Moore at 6'9" turns and scores.
Coach K was talking about defensive intensity and maintaining intensity. He cannot be happy with those last 2 field goals.
Young lineup right now with 3 freshmen on the floor. Thornton up top, Luke Kennard, a great left-handed shooter in the game, as well as Jeter, the big man. Thornton the drive, drop off for Jeter. He can't handle it, but it's off the Aggies, and it stays here.
And that's what Thornton gives you. He gives you the ability to get downhill off the bounce, draw a second defender, and get you easy baskets. Duke likes to try to score underneath out of bounds. I call them special situations. When you get in a league play, it's like stealing a basket.
Gordon, the freshman who reclassified to come here to Duke this year with a nice feed inside for Allen, who sealed off his defender.
Terrific execution. They saw the zone. Allen gets inside that weak side defender. Excellent game preparation.
Penetration has not been hard to come by for Utah State into the lane. No finish from Rector. Quick pull-up. Thornton knocks it in and out. Handoff, Chris Smith, 3, no. Jefferson, a strong rebound. Leading rebounder on this team, averaging a double-double. And Jeter loses it. Utah State basketball when we come back with Duke up by 6.
And on the perimeter, makes them one of the most efficient offensive teams in college basketball.
Seth, are they the number 6 team in the country right now?
I think they're the 6th team in progress. You know what I mean by that? You know, there's tremendous parity right now in college basketball. Teams really are still developing an identity. It's really better understanding who they are and how they win. This Duke team is all about the potential, and the potential of Brandon Ingram, who's better understanding of what it takes to be successful at this level, how hard you need to play. Integrating Derek Thornton in terms of when he has the basketball, playing Allen and Jones on the wing. So they're going to be a very good team, but they must defend consistently.
Up top, Evans gets a good look from three. Plumlee there for the rebound for Duke. Grayson Allen, Emil Jefferson have 13 of the 18 Duke points right now. Thornton resets straight away. Shot clock at 15. Grayson Allen, the ACC's leading scorer. Down to 7 now. Plumlee out of his element. Thornton with 4. Off the ball screen. He's got to pull the trigger inside the arc. And it's out of bounds. Back to Utah State. Well defended by the Aggies.
Terrific job of Utah State right there. I call them keyhole defense. You got your toes to the three-point line. You keep everything in front. You force them to shoot a contested jump shot. That's what Tim Duryea wants.
Grayson Moore passes back. Darius Perkins can't connect. Kennard sets it up for Duke. And he gets bumped on the perimeter. Foul on Grayson Moore. Redshirt senior from North Logan, Utah, with his first foul.
This is a Utah State team that last year really shot the three. Right now, they are really struggling shooting the ball from range. They lost David Collette, who decided to transfer the week before the season started. He was their best low post scorer. Without him, it's easier to get out and pressure the perimeter jump shooters of Utah State.
A big blow there to redshirt sophomore forward. And a freshman guard, Luke Kennard, connecting from deep. Only shooting 17% from range. Connects there. Make it 21-12.
He's a big-time jump shooter. That will change significantly as the season moves along.
Evans goes baseline, reverse layup, not there. And the ball loose, controlled by Utah State. Yeah, once Kennard gets going, the second leading high school scorer in the state of Ohio's history, can be dangerous. Jefferson rejects Evans from behind. Here comes Jones. Kennard a ball fake, out for Jones. A three on the way. And Jefferson stepped on the baseline. Duke turns it over.
To be a good defensive team, you've got to be active and alert and see plays. Emil Jefferson doing a great job of staying with the play and contesting it at the rim. Emil Jefferson, he's impacting the game on the defensive end, and he is hard to keep off the offensive glass.
Ranks 4th nationally in offensive rebounds per game with just over 5. 9.5 minutes to go here in the first half at Cameron Indoor, and a 9-point lead for Duke. Aggies are 0 for their last 6. Ball out of bounds. Who touched it last? Grayson Allen did.
Duke's done a great job taking Chris Smith out of the game. If you look at the lineup right now for Utah State, where are they going to go and get their scoring? Perkins has really struggled shooting the basketball. Rector can get in the lane, but their bigs cannot finish over the length of Duke.
Going on about 3.5 minutes since their last field goal. The Aggies looking to get that scoring going. The ball into Evans. Great hedge there from Plumlee, and it forces the turnover. Given to Kennard. Had Allen open on the wing, but didn't see him.
Utah State needs to get Chris Smith back in the game, and they need to get him going.
Kennard on a contested jumper. He's got 5.
Big part for Kennard is knowing where his shots are coming from. When you move from high school to college, you're in a new system, you really don't know where your shots are coming from. As he gets an understanding of that, his shooting percentage will improve significantly.
The Aggies end their scoring drop, 23-14. The rhythm has significantly picked up for the Blue Devils here in the last few minutes offensively. Allen drives, comes up short. Boy, that looked a lot like that running hook shot from LeBron James for a game winner.
Easy, Cousins, easy. Let's back off of that one right now. LeBron James, Grayson Allen, they were not separated at birth.
Not the same growing up in Ohio as it is in Florida. 8:21 here first half. Mike Cousins, Seth Greenberg with you from Durham, North Carolina. Kennard had made his last two. Comes up short from the three there. Kennard tried the steal. Blue Devils recover defensively. In the post, another nice hook from Elston Jones, the sophomore out of Goodyear, Arizona.
They've got to get more of that. Jones really patient on there. And when you're a big player, you've got to establish yourself, but you need to be patient and try to move the defense.
Trying to run Kennard off of screens for a three. The freshman drives, draws contact, and the bucket falls. Chance for a three-point play for Luke Kennard.
Utah State needs to establish themselves in the low block, and Elston Jones did a nice job right there. Here's Luke Kennard attacking the basket, playing 2 and 3, being right now today the National Player of the Year. He's shooting the ball with confidence. He had a huge triple-double against Kansas in the Champions Classic, and he's built off of that performance.
And a great supporting cast there in East Lansing as well. After the free throw, Luke Kennard has the last 8 points for Duke, a 10-point lead. And in the post, a fight for it. Elston Jones the rebound, and a kick out, chance for three. The Aggies have not shot very well from deep. Shane Rector comes up empty.
Once again, a good job for Utah State coming out of that timeout. They isolated Chris Smith on the block, but he was unable to finish.
As you mentioned, Seth, coming into this game, the Aggies last year a great three-point shooting team. This year only at 31% as a team. Fourth turnover by Duke. Back the other way. Jalen Moore runs the floor and gets a pick.
You got to run on opportunity, get some easy baskets before the defense is set. Julian Moore doing a great job of running the floor. Rector reading the defense.
Looking for the high-low. Plumlee, the southpaw feed for Jefferson. One-on-one with Moore. Turns and delivers.
And that's the difference. You talk about patience. That was great patience by Emil Jefferson. But think about this. He's a senior now. He's waited his turn. And now all of a sudden he's a big part of this Duke program right now. Terrific offensive rebounder. And now giving him some scoring in the low block.
Out of rhythm shot for Perkins. Duke by 12. Jones had the open look. His pass is taken away. Perkins, coast to coast.
Live ball turnovers, hard to guard. Live ball turnovers. Really a nice alert defense by Darius Perkins.
And it's Jones having to set things up once again with Thornton not on the floor for Duke. Kennard gives it up. His pocket picked by Perkins. Moore against Allen on the baseline. And there's a good step in by Grayson Allen.
Make simple plays. That's what basketball is all about right here. Watch as this play develops. Matt Jones leaves his feet to pass. You got to leave your feet to shoot. Perkins, alert and active off the ball, finishes, easy scoring opportunity. The game is so different when Matt Jones is at the point as opposed to the wing. Coach K brings back Thornton. You're going to watch Duke play at a quicker pace, and you see him get more easy, open looks.
What is it about Thornton's game that allows them to up the tempo?
I mean, he is a point guard. He's a facilitator. He's a guy that's going to look to push it and attack.
That is the Luke Kennard that Duke fans expected, a three-point threat. Stepping right into a shot. 31-20 Blue Devils.
And there's the new rule in effect. You got to keep your hands off the ball handler. To me, that was a little bit of incidental contact, but the rules are working. There's no doubt about it. Possessions are up, scoring's up. The game has better flow. First few weeks of the season, the rules have been a success.
First personal foul on Thornton, the 5th team foul on Duke. Backdoor cut, not there, out of bounds. Stays with Utah State. And that's exactly what you're talking about, Seth. Points are up, possessions are up, and fouls, as to be expected, are up as well because the game is being called as the rules are written.
but not as significantly as we would have thought, because the players have adjusted, the coaches have adjusted, and the officials have not adjusted. They're calling the rules as they're written.
Rector swatted away. Second chance. Plumlee with the rejection. Allen with a kick out. Thornton for three. And a foul on the loose ball under the bucket.
Duke has been very alert off the basketball. Their help has been early. Dribble penetration, challenge the shooter, and then they're long and they're athletic and they're quick and they protect the front of the rim.
Second foul on Julian Perry for Utah State, and the 9th team foul. Allows for a substitution. Grayson Allen to the bench and Emil Jefferson back on the floor for Duke. So it's Jefferson, Plumlee, Ingram at the free throw line with Thornton and Kennard as well in the backcourt.
Call was obviously prior to him collecting himself, Ingram collecting himself and going up. But you asked about Thornton. What happens is when you get Matt Jones off the ball, all of a sudden he's running the floor. He's playing ahead of the defense. He's playing freed up. He can play off of penetration. He is a really good jump shooter. You put him on the ball, now he's got to manage the game, usually defending the other team's best player. It just takes something away from him, but adds to his game.
Ingram's first 2 points of the afternoon stretched the lead to the largest for Duke today. 13 points with under 5 minutes left in the first half. Good deflection from Jefferson, knocks it out of bounds.
Duke's intensity defensively has been good. They still have to defend the basketball off the dribble better, but their ability to pressure the ball and extend their defense has made a difference.
That was the emphasis from Coach K, and this morning's shoot-around was maximum effort defensively against the Utah State team, 2-7 all-time against the ACC. Last win against an ACC team came in the 1960-61 season. The defensive effort turns it over. Thornton with a fadeaway. Misses everything.
That's just not a good shot right there. No rush.
Still Utah State basketball after the steal and subsequent turnover by Thornton. Rector drops it off. Quinn Taylor fades and it rolls off.
Utah State just does not have anyone on the interior that could put pressure on this Duke defense. They had a guy who left the program a week before the start of the season, David Collette. That is a huge loss. Kennard being so aggressive today.
Good no call into the bucket. Jefferson there to clean it up. 35-20 is the lead. Blocking foul on Thornton, trying to play 94 feet of defense, and that's his second personal foul.
When Derek Thornton's in the game, good things happen. He's aggressive off the dribble. He compresses the defense. He forces the defense into rotation, which gives you high percentage shots. And there, Luke Kennard getting in the lane. Emil Jefferson, he's a garbage man. He finishes. Blue Devils up 15. Has the ability to take out your best player. His ability to defend on and off the ball. He's the best in the country.
Under 3.5 minutes remaining in the first half here at Cameron Indoor Stadium. A 7-0 run by Duke right now.
And here's Duke's 1-3-1 zone. Look how big they are at the top with Emil Jefferson. They can distort passing lanes.
Chris Smith gets going. 2 points for their leading scorer and was just 1 of 5 from the floor.
Coming out of the timeout, Coach K goes 1-3-1. Great job of Utah State recognizing it, flattening the defense, skipping it, and getting it to Chris Smith.
Imagine they saw that on the tape of the last few games. And there, Emil Jefferson up top on the 1-3-1. They love the length they can get there, especially with him or Ingram. Plumlee, offensive foul as he bowls through Lou Evans. First on Plumlee.
Utah State coming out of the timeout, they've been absolutely terrific. They see the 1-3-1, they recognize it, they go 2-1-2, flatten it, make the extra pass, put your shooters in position to score the basketball. That shot could get Chris Smith going. Excellent execution out of the timeout, recognizing the 1-3-1, and then attacking it.
Now back to the man-to-man for the Blue Devils. Evans lost his dribble. Into the lane. An uncontested finish for Evans, the redshirt junior from Salt Lake City. Back to a 10-point game now. Floater off the window does not go for Jones. Rector falls to the ground, immediately swarmed. Perkins gives it back up top. The ball stripped away out of bounds and off of Duke, although the Blue Devil bench would argue otherwise.
A big part of what Utah State's trying to do right now is open up the floor, spread the court, and attack Marshall Plumlee off the bounce. Evans has the ability at 6'9" to shoot the ball with range, but more importantly, put the ball on the floor and attack that matchup.
Perkins gets it in. Shot clock is at 12 for the Aggies.
When you're playing in Cameron, it is really important to close out the half.
Evans has to shoot with 2 on the shot clock. Front iron, nothing doing. And that could be a big momentum swing for Duke. They can finish out this half on a run.
Look for Grayson Allen to get something right now.
Looking for a foul, didn't get it. Into the lane, gets 2 more. Grayson Allen with 9.
When Duke gets stuck, they're going to try to put Grayson Allen in a position to either come off some staggers, a wide pin down, or give him a big gap so he can drive it. Right there, going to his left hand, terrific pull.
Nobody in the paint right now. Rector trying to drive on Jefferson. Lofts it up. Plumlee with the rebound. 40 seconds left in the half. It's 12 seconds between the game clock and the shot clock. Allen for 3. Rector has Smith. Allen goes up to contest. And the foul is his first, stopping the clock at 26.2.
Allen shoot 50% from the 3. I thought he would shot fake that and punch it in the gap like he did the possession before, but when Duke gets stuck, yes, they can play through Jefferson, and Plumlee's been very good today, but they're going to try to get Grayson Allen freed up, especially on the right-hand side of the court where it can punch it in a gap.
It's Smith, the senior from Sacramento, at the free throw line. In on the first, averaging 17 points and 8 rebounds, team leader in both. Now has 6 when Taylor back onto the floor.
He's got a good body. He's physically strong. He can create a little separation to shoot the ball.
Honorable mention All Mountain West last year and gained 25 pounds in the offseason. An important piece of this team. Well, Wednesday night, it's the Big Ten ACC Challenge presented by the U.S. Marines. It's on ESPN. A Final Four rematch. Louisville gets its first real test of the year. Number 3 Michigan State at 7:15 Eastern. And then it's Hoosiers Blue Devils, 9:15 Eastern time. Indiana at 4-2. They lost to Wake and they lost to UNLV, but it's a combined 7 points in those 2 losses.
I still like this Indiana team. They still haven't developed an identity. They've got to take care of the basketball. They're over 300 in turnover percentage. They're going to be fine, but they got to defend more consistently and take care of the ball.
Out of the timeout, Duke up by 10. They've been able to stretch that lead and keep it in double digits. Luke Kennard, 11 points, leading scorer. And behind him, Emil Jefferson has 10. Allen, who's averaging 23, sitting on 9 right now. Coming down to the final possession of half number 1.
Utah State stays man. They would not be surprised to see Brandon Ingram get the ball at the top in the middle of the floor in an isolation situation. A 1-1-3 zone defense right now by Utah State.
Kennard didn't have the shot from the corner. Drives, it's short, and a blocking foul is called. The freshman going to the free throw line.
Luke Kennard has been much more aggressive. He's playing with tremendous confidence, and he's looking to attack. On this ball, first, a terrific shot fake. Shot fake sets up the drive. He plays 2 contact. Luke Kennard has been terrific in the first half, and he needs to be good for Duke to be good because he's another guy that can stretch the defense, take a little pressure off of Grayson Allen. Look at the quick ball reversal, dealing with the zone. Shot fake, lifts the defender. He attacks. Defense is a little bit late. Kennard plays right into the body of the defender.
Now, I didn't see Evans' feet, but did you think he was a legal defender there? Had his chest up to
We have
Kennard?
a great vantage point from up here, but I have to be honest, I wasn't looking, but Les Jones is pretty good, and Tim Clougherty on the far side, standing almost right in front of his dad, who's the coordinator of officials for the ACC. This is a very good officiating crew. Now, I wouldn't have said that a year ago. Let's watch his feet right here. Look at the help side defender. He looks like he is outside of the cylinder, of the circle. That is one of the hardest calls for the officials to make. They've got to show great teamwork to make that call because you're looking for the contact. That trail official's got to step in and give some help.
When the defender is there, as long as his feet are outside the arc, the rules say he can move laterally or obliquely, diagonally back.
Obliquely, that's good. That's a Syracuse word. That's really important. You Syracuse guys always coming up with these words. Fairleigh Dickinson, Harvard on the Hackensack. We don't use obliquely.
It's all the snow. You got to stay inside and read something. I picked the dictionary. At the half, it's Duke 38, Utah State 27. In the studio, our friends Dino Gaudio and Matt Schick have more. The Aggies 27. Mike Cousins, Seth Greenberg. A great first half for the freshman from Ohio, Luke Kennard, a game-high 12.
Luke Kennard has been terrific, and started with him knocking down that first deep 3. Once you see that ball go in, all of a sudden now you can get aggressive. You look to attack. You look to take what the defense gives you. He got to the rim. He made plays for his teammates. All of a sudden, Luke Kennard better understood where his shots were coming from.
It had been a little hairy for him to start the season, shooting just 17% from 3, but it's back-to-back games now with 12 after he dropped a dozen on Yale on Wednesday. Allen quickly into the lane and draws the foul just 13 seconds into the second half.
Grayson Allen moves without the ball about as well as any player in the country, not named Trevor Cooney, but Allen does a good job of coming off of this back screen, and then they rescreen for him. He does a great job of curling into the lane. He's big enough and strong enough when he curls to play to contact.
91% from the free throw line. The first is good for the former number 21 player in the country. A guy who was at the tail end of that star recruiting class last year and really made a name for himself right at the end of the season. 2 for 2.
Hey, this is a deep ACC this year. The top of the league. The matchups in the ACC Big Ten Challenge are going to be terrific.
Moore guarded by Jefferson, who had a great first half for the Blue Devils. That's their 5th block of the afternoon. And it's Duke basketball.
Really good job by Emil Jefferson, staying in the stand, staying between the ball and the basket, staying down on the shot fake, walling up and contesting the shot. That's big-time D right there.
Ian Plumlee have been so instrumental as leaders on that defense. Allen gets easily to the rim. 13 now for Grayson Allen. 15-point lead equals the largest the Blue Devils have had today. Step back inside the arc, no good for Perkins. And it's a loose ball foul as Allen hits the deck hard.
Grayson Allen is a big guard that does a great job of using screens. He comes off that screen, he curls, he's on balance, and he can attack you off the right or with his left hand. But right there, physical play, he lands on his shoulder. Be interesting to see how he responds off of that hit.
Already 2 team fouls against the Aggies. Thumbs up from Grayson Allen. That one charged to Jalen Moore, his 3rd.
Utah State going to that 1-1-3 zone. Look for Duke to try to attack it on the block or on the baseline.
10 on the shot clock. Jones on a drive, drops off. Plumlee with a finish.
critical time right now for Utah State. They need to be poised. They need to be patient. They need to find a way to get a play going at the basket.
7 to shoot. Smith, their leading scorer on the year, into the lane. Ingram hands up. And they get the stop.
Hard to finish over the length of Brandon Ingram. Ingram did a nice job of keeping in front and contesting the smaller Smith.
7'3" wingspan. One of the things, the many things that Mike Krzyzewski loves about it. Jones nails the triple.
Utah State needs a timeout right now. They need to regroup, try to stop the bleeding. Marshall Plumlee, terrific job of recognizing his zone and a great job of interior passing. The key to attacking the zone, don't settle. Dribble penetration, reverse the basketball, get in the lane, draw a second defender. Marshall Plumlee, I'd say that's a high percentage shot.
Ravens, Browns at 8:15.
Allen now the game's high score with 13. Kennard and Jefferson in double digits as well. Utah State 0 for the last 5 from the floor. Driving kick to the corner. Smith passed up the 3. Moore will try it. Plumlee, the 7-footer, grabs the board in traffic. Utah State just 1 of 7 from three-point range today. Knew that would be a problem for them coming in, shooting 31%. It's been worse than they expected.
And every 3 is challenging. When you don't have a low post player that puts pressure on the defense and forces the defense to scrape down or double, all those three-point shots are going to be contested threes. That's the difference between this year's Utah State team and last year's when they had David Collette.
Collette, the redshirt sophomore, averaging 13 and 5 last year, left the team 2 days before the season. Ingram had it swatted earlier on the possession. This time on the drive, draws the foul. And he'll go to the line.
This is a Utah State team and program with a rich tradition. And Stu Morrow, their former coach, who Tim Duryea was an assistant to, did just a terrific job. It's a great environment at Utah State. They played what we're going to call the Spectrum. Now, I'm one of the few people, Mike, I can tell you, I've been thrown at a Cameron Indoor, and I've been thrown at a Spectrum. If you want a little bit of trivia, that's a pretty good one. But Spectrum, a great environment. Stu Morrow, they dominated the Big West when he was there. They dominated the West Coast the WAC. And now they've transitioned to the Mountain West.
Grayson Allen keeps it going. He's got 16 points. You know, it's just 16 minutes and 50 seconds of game time until I can update your Wikipedia page with that trivia.
I appreciate that. I've got all kinds of trivia for you, Mike. Just pay attention, take notes.
Jones inside, pestered by Plumlee. His deflection turns into a steal. 7th turnover for the Aggies, down 50-27.
And this is the key to Duke. Duke's going to be able to score. Can they defend consistently? That will determine if they're going to make another championship run come March.
Plumlee gets the one-on-one, backs down with the shoulder and scores with the left hook.
I say that Plumlee's a little bit like Brian Zubek, but he's a much better offensive player. He can finish over his right and left shoulder. He's got a little bit better bounce than Zubek, the former Duke center.
Allen fighting for the loose ball, hits the deck as it rolls out of bounds. The Duke bench happy with the effort from Allen.
Duke has been dominating defensively, but when they put it down low to Marshall Plumlee, look how patient he is. He works his defender. He can finish over the right shoulder, the left shoulder. Duke has come out with a great sense of the Spectrum is a great environment to play college basketball, and they've got great, passionate home fans. Their students embrace and empower their team, and it's a tough place to win.
As is Cameron Indoor.
You think?
Utah State looking for their first win over a ranked team since 2007. Right now down 52-27.
Utah State going back to that 1-1-3 zone. Look at them to try to trap the basketball on the baseline in the short corner in this defense.
Second foul on Lou Evans. Team foul number 4 against the Aggies. In the second half, Duke 5 of 5 from the floor.
They're running Grayson Allen along this baseline. They're either going to get him a shot Oh, they got him a shot or again a post feed.
3 sets of hands in there. It was Ingram who tipped it back up to the basket. 2 free throws coming for the freshman from Kinston, North Carolina.
It is really important in a big picture for Coach K to get Brandon Ingram going. Now, he's different than Jahlil Okafor and Justice Winslow and Tyus Jones because he's not physically as mature. So this is going to be a process as this season goes along. In terms of his skill set and his potential, it's off the charts. He's part of another terrific recruiting class. And the recruiting class they have coming in this coming year, my guy Paul Biancardi, he would be very disappointed, Cousins, on you if you didn't at least take the time to mention that they had the #2 rated recruiting class in college basketball behind Kentucky with Giles and Tatum and Jackson coming in. That's a big-time recruiting class.
Some of the best players in the country. Unfortunately, Harry Giles at #1 has a torn ACL for the 2nd time in his high school career, so he won't suit up with Oak Hill Academy this season.
It seems like Duke and Kentucky, it's an arms race in recruiting.
Five minutes gone here in the half. Rector penetrates, fades, and scores.
Rector has that ability to break you down off the bounce. He can create separation. He's got to make good decisions, but I think potentially you're going to see the ball in Rector's hands and maybe even Perkins off the ball with Smith.
Allen was posting up earlier on the possession. Got it up top. Jones. Nobody guards him. Why not? %62% of his points this year have come on threes. Can't leave him open like that.
Really good patience, Jones. He got some room and rhythm. He set his feet. He's a big shot maker. Once again, good recognition by Duke. Duke's ability to be patient and get the shot they want. Good dribble penetration, try to get a paint touch. See how Jones moves to an open spot. Poor closeout by Utah State, but Matt Jones has the ability to read the defense, but what he really brings to this team is maturity and toughness. He defends the other team's best player, and he has great leadership skills. Coach K said when he's out of practice, you can see a genuine drop-off of their intensity defensively and their approach to the game.
And on a team like that this year, Mike Krzyzewski has said this team is going to take a little bit more nurturing than his squads have in years past, which he looks forward to. It's a different type of challenge. Plumlee keeps his hands up. Evans at 6'9", gets it from the right block.
And we saw that in the VCU game in Madison Square Garden. Duke was struggling early. Coach K called a timeout. A more mature team, he might have challenged in a different way. I wouldn't say nurturing, but he wasn't. He didn't counsel them as aggressively as he might have a more mature team.
What he said during the week is he's pleased with their effort. They're paying attention. It's just the inconsistencies of having a young team and not knowing who's going to come up big on any given night.
Isn't that the culture of college basketball at the very highest level? You've got to get, instead of guys coming in and better understanding their roles and learning what college basketball is all about, you've got to get these elite players ready in 4 months. They come in July, and it's fast forward. I mean, the whole process is accelerated. And what happens, Mike, is kind of like you and me. Every once in a while, you got to unplug me, plug me back in, and reboot me. Well, these freshmen right here, they're going to hit the wall eventually. And Coach K's got to kind of unplug them, plug them back in, reboot them, and get them ready for the second half of the season. That will happen sometime in the beginning of January.
It's always good. I like the tech support to college basketball analogy. That may be the
first one. Is that a good one?
It's good. I like that. It's always the first solution.
You can unplug me at any time you like, by the way.
Whenever it's frozen, have you restarted yet? Kennard comes off the screen. He likes the three. And he gets going. Kennard has 15 after dropping 12 on Wednesday against Yale.
How confidently was he that he shoot that basketball? Stepped his defender off, created a separation. Watch him come off of this screen. He's patient. He curls the screen. Watch his feet. This is really good for young players. He's going to come off this little bump on the baseline, but he's going to get his feet set, on balance, feet underneath. That's a guy that's shooting confidently and feels good about his stroke.
A pure scorer. He's got his family here today while Duke is on Thanksgiving break, and they've been to a lot of his games this year.
Are those the ones with the Kennard jerseys?
It's pretty obvious to see.
Great observation by your Cousins.
Step back for Smith. He's got it. You know, the elevated perch makes life a lot easier.
You're like a clairvoyant.
You said I was the one using big words. Jeter just picked up his second foul. Played his high school hoops with Steven Zimmerman, the freshman star at UNLV.
That'd be a bad game to schedule if you were a high school player.
Oof. 2 top 10 players. Getting inside, scores off the window. That's where he's best.
He's got to get used to the speed of the game, and he's got to slow himself down a little bit, but he does have the ability to finish and score around the basket.
Thornton with the lob. A little too high for Jeter. Jefferson tracks it down the backcourt for the Blue Devils, up 62-36.
When you think about one and dones, when you think about Duke and Kentucky and maybe even Kansas, but you look at Emil Jefferson as a senior and look at the manner in which he played, his maturity, and what he brings to this basketball team.
Kennard keeps rolling, 17 for number 5.
Luke Kennard, step back threes, curls. He's got it all today. This is huge for him coming into the ACC Big Ten Challenge.
Going baseline. And it's a goaltending call as Jefferson and Jeter converged.
Luke Kennard, he's shown the complete repertoire. He can shoot the three, he can drive it to traffic, and he's also got the little step back. Luke Kennard, one of the best freshmen in college basketball, stepping his game up against Utah State. And Hedge, he goes right at you. He's going to shoot 300 free throws this year just by attacking that ball screen. Maryland, a very complete team. The question, will their bigs be able to run the floor with Kennedy Meeks? Kennedy Meeks is in not good shape. He's in the kind of shape you're in, Cousins.
Well, I don't want to say he's in very bad shape because that would be the answer there.
I know, you're kind of like built like Kennard. Don't have his jumper.
Do not. Luke Kennard, 17 points, 3 of 4 from three-point range. It's a new career high for him in game number 7 of his young college career. 64-38, the Blue Devils on their way to 6-1. Jeter tiptoes the baseline with the rebound. Thornton leads the breakaway. Dribble into the lane. Kennard, 16-footer. Fight for the loose ball. Smith comes up with it.
That's a senior just taking it away from a freshman.
And Perkins throws it out of bounds.
And that last play where Smith just overpowers Brandon Ingram, and that's where Brandon Ingram is a work in progress. He has the instinct to pursue the basketball, but he's just not physically strong enough against the senior. These are great minutes right now for these young Duke kids to get better field, play together, make sure you get good shots, defend consistently. This is a great learning experience for these young guys right now.
Ingram got caught up in the air and had nowhere to go with it. Perkins takes it the other way and makes the Blue Devils pay. But what you've got here on the floor, Seth, is you've got 4 freshmen, and really 3 freshmen and a high school senior, and Thornton bring it up, who reclassified, and then Jefferson, the senior.
And Ingram's got to learn how to play on balance, not leave his feet. There's a little saying coaches say, you leave your feet to shoot and can pass, but you can't leave your feet to pass and shoot. Ingram left his feet on that play to pass the ball. Can't do it. Great play again right there. The patience in the low post. Emil Jefferson, a year ago, he just rebounded and defended. Now the Blue Devils can play through him, showing terrific patience in the low block. Reminds me a little bit of Lance Thomas.
He's been a rock of their program here early going, averaging 12 and 11, playing 30 minutes a game. Right now, 12 points, 7 rebounds, shooting 6 of 7 from the floor. Make it 3 on that play there.
Thomas was a high-energy guy for the Blue Devils national championship team, and this is going to be a different look now. Now, watch as this game develops now. Ingram is going to slide to 4. Watch how much more active and more involved he is at the 4 when he has a better matchup that he can tackle off the dribble.
All up in the air, down to Ingram. Thornton, Allen, Ingram, Jeter, and Kennard on the floor for Duke. Foul on the floor. On the penetration from Grayson Allen into the paint. fourth personal on Perry.
Yeah, it's not where you are, it's where you're going. I mean, everyone gets kind of overreacts to early season wins or losses. We've seen a lot of upsets in college basketball early in the season, but what coaches are using these games on, especially at the high level, they're using these games as fact-finding missions. They're using these games to learn more about their teams, who they are and how they win, so that when the semester's over and you've got your players for 3-4 weeks with nothing else but just basketball and games, you can fine-tune and kind of reinvent yourselves to find out what you need to do as you enter league play. So these games, as much as you want to win, whether you're Utah State or Duke or Miami the other day against Northeastern, you want to do is you want to kind of understand who you are and really understand your weaknesses. And that's what all coaches around the country are trying to do right now.
What do you think right now are the biggest questions that Mike Krzyzewski has about his team?
I think rotations. I think that Ingram is best suited to play 4, but can he rebound the basketball? You like to play Thornton with the ball in his hands because it frees up Jones and Allen. And at times, he overhandles the basketball.
Allen to the rim! Here comes Thornton. He rises and cannot connect. Ingram drops it off. Allen's got 22. Timeout, Utah State.
Terrific pass by Ingram. That's where he's at his best when he's at 4. He uses his size to look over the defense. But Grayson Allen, on the ball, off the ball, pushing it in transition. Terrific athlete. Good roll up right there by Plumlee, and then Allen takes it the rest of the way. He's got a great combination. He's physically strong. He can come off screens. He can play without the ball. He can shot fake you and lift you. And that's why he's so hard to play against, because if you close hard on him, he's going to drive it. He does a nice job of running the floor, and he's as good coming off screens as maybe any player in the country. And I know all the Kentucky fans right now are going, well, he didn't do it against Isaiah Briscoe. And he did it because Isaiah Briscoe's a terrific defender, but Grayson Allen is a really good player, and he's going to be in the Player of the Year discussion because he's a volume scorer that is going to be involved each and every play for the Duke Blue Devils.
Leading the ACC in scoring entering today's play, ahead of Dwayne Bacon at Florida State, another tremendous freshman, and Demetrius Jackson at Notre Dame. 73-40.
Florida State, you said Florida State? Beasley and Bacon.
Oh, they're going to be good.
But you talk about a bunch of bookend wings. I mean, Luke Beasley and Bacon are big, long, athletic. I really like Florida State. The ACC just in general, Mike, is really deep. I mean, really, Miami's playing at a high level. How about Jim Larranaga? They've got the Bank United Center sold out. Sold out. I coached at Miami back in the day when they brought back basketball. We played in a theater. I mean, it was, you know, it was the wine and cheese crowd. Now, they got that place sold out. Jim Larranaga's done a terrific job at Miami.
And for as much as we talk about the great recruiting class coming here for 2016, what Leonard Hamilton has hauled in the last couple of years maybe goes a little bit under the radar, but they're very good.
Leonard Hamilton is really good. When you were recruiting against Leonard Hamilton, he was most dangerous when you didn't see him. You knew he was getting stuff done.
Ingram from the top, gives off for Thornton. Rolls off the rim for the freshman out of Findlay Prep in Nevada. Duke has run away with it here in the second half, up by 33. You got a jump ball underneath, and it stays at this end of the floor.
I've been where Tim Durham's been, and quite honestly, the first time I came here, I was where he was. The score was about the way it is, and about 2 minutes left, I said, you know, I've seen enough. It's time for me to leave. But the most important thing you're trying to do with your team right now is get them to the next play. You got to make the you got to play the next play. You got to get a stop. You got to execute offensively. Because Utah State's going to be a good basketball team in a very good conference. I mean, you're talking about UNLV, improved, extremely athletic. New Mexico's got a good, solid basketball program under Noodles Neal. Cole Neal is a terrific player. Watch out for Fresno State. They're my sleeper in the Mountain West.
3 on the shot clock. Long pull, gets the back of the iron. It's another rebound for Plumlee. 9 and 8 for him today. Top 2 preseason selections in the Mountain West. San Diego State and Boise State. Kennard has it taken away. Rector stripped it. Rector spins to the rim. Bounces off. Tip from Jones doesn't go. Out of bounds. Utah State basketball when we come back to Cameron Indoor Stadium.
Grayson Allen, he's an elite athlete. He runs the floor, and if you give him a lane to the hoop, he can punch it on you in a heartbeat. Grayson Allen, one of the best guards in college basketball. Duke in control.
Love Smart Solutions.
What about on the other side, trying to stop Valentine?
Yeah, Valentine's so good because he can play in the action, coming off screens. He shoots it quick. But when he gets a defensive rebound, it's a fast break waiting to happen. He's kind of Magic-esque because of his size and his ability to look over the defense. And then that's kind of like the hors d'oeuvres. So I guess it's actually dessert because it's feast week. And then we have another dinner next week at the ACC Big Ten Challenge. Your squad, by the way, the Orange.
Syracuse off to a very good start.
You think?
And now a little bit happier that they'll get a scholarship back.
I'll tell you, you know what the amazing thing is about you Syracuse guys? One, you're unbelievably loyal. Number 2 is that you're like doom and gloom, and then all of a sudden, my agent's a Syracuse guy. He's doom and gloom. I said, no, Syracuse can be pretty good. Tyler Lydon, he's a pro. I love that Benajay, the former Duke Blue Devil, has been put to the point. You guys, until they prove it to you, the guy's only won. I don't care about the games they've taken away from him. He's coming, he's zeroing in on 1,000 wins.
Yes.
He knows what he's doing, that guy.
Vacated wins are another story.
Vacated wins. They won the games. They played the games. Enough.
They count. Tyler Lydon has been massively impressive in the interior of that 2-3 zone there with Dajuan Coleman coming back from injury, not yet at full speed, and has helped carry Syracuse as they went through their tournament down in the battle for Atlanta.
So skilled offensively, Tyler Lydon. He can shoot the 3. He can drive it. He's got a great feel.
How about Brandon Ingram? There's talk about this team developing, and Ingram is part of that as he drives the lane, now has 6. He is not going to put on 25 pounds by the time March rolls around. So what's going to be the difference for him?
Well, I think when he plays 4, he has a matchup to his advantage. When he plays 4, you can't get underneath him. He's playing against a bigger defender. Now you pull that guy away from the basket. He can use his skill level to go by you. Here's a perfect example. Ingram at the 4 is a hard matchup. You pull a bigger defender away, he comes off this little bump, forces the closeout. Watch, now at 6'8", he can put it on the ground, use his quickness and his length to score. Brandon Ingram, to me, is a really tough matchup at the 4. The key will be, can he rebound at the 4, and can he defend at the 4?
Which will only get tougher once the ACC schedule rolls around. Foul on Duke, Sean Obi, who's playing in his 2nd game of the season, transfer from Rice. And Thornton comes back onto the floor as Jones takes his seat.
Obi's, when he was at Rice, he kind of rebounded like Pac-Man. He just gobbled rebounds up. I mean, he's a big-time rebounder. Has struggled offensively in this system. Did I date myself with the Pac-Man?
No, that's good.
Guys still play Pac-Man?
I don't know if they do, but I think everybody knows. At least if you went to an arcade when you were young.
Go Google it.
11-1 run for Duke. As long as you stay away from the Atari, I think you've kept up with the younger crowd.
I appreciate that. Good looking after me.
Closing it on 6 minutes. Ingram with a drive and a pull-up.
And that is another perfect example of Ingram at the 4, using his quickness, his ability to face up and attack a front court defender.
Foul on Thornton. That's his 4th. Now Ingram, the number 3 player in the ESPN 100 class of 2015. You pair him in the freshman focus with Scalabiciere at Kentucky and Ben Simmons at LSU. Those are 3 formidable players making an impact immediately with their respective teams.
Labissiere is just going to continue to get better. He's a terrific off-ball defender, ball screen defender. He's learning to be a low-post scorer. And Ben Simmons, and I know people are tired of us talking about him, but he's just so fun to watch. He rebounds the basketball. He reminds me a little bit of LeBron and Magic, his ability to push the ball, read all 5 defenders. He's got to improve his ability to make shots. But he is really a fun player to watch.
Oh, so it's okay when you make a LeBron James reference, huh?
Well, I mean, we want to compare Grayson Allen to LeBron. I mean, now we got a 6'9" point forward in Ben Simmons. All right. You're right. You're right. I'm wrong.
I was only comparing the hook shot. I very much agree with you on the skill set comparison between Simmons and LeBron James. It's a moving screen called on Kennard. His first personal foul.
You've got to remain still. That's it. You know, everyone talks about the new rules in physical play. Physical play is also in screening. You've got to come to a stop and be stationary when you set that screen.
Jones trapped on the edge, tries to drive by Obi. And a foul as he goes to the floor. Number 3 against Obi.
The one thing about that Mountain West Conference, you talk about some tough travel. That conference is no joke. I mean, and tough places to play. I mean, San Diego State, maybe as tough a place to play as in the country. Not only because they've got great fans, which they have the best in the Mountain West, but because they are really talented and they defend you every possession. You go to the Pit in New Mexico, you go to Thomas and Mack, you go to Wyoming, one of the tougher places to play in the Mountain West. It's really, really a very good coaches league, a tough travel league, and some great environments and atmospheres.
Kennard looks for the screen from Jeter. Now from Trace Puritan on the perimeter. The senior from Indianapolis at Cathedral High School. His first team's 8th.
Utah State traveled about 100 people to this basketball game. And, you know, I think it's one of those things that you, as a program, you know, to come to Duke, to play in Cameron, watching those guys in shoot around yesterday and their practice yesterday, they're taking pictures at the D, taking pictures of all the banners. When I used to bring my teams in here, I used to bring in the practice at home, bring them in the night before, especially the freshmen, and say, now, all right, check out all banners. You can take the pictures. You can do all you can do. And understand, we're not playing against any of those guys. All right? We got to worry about the guys that we're going to play against. But it is an experience. And, you know, this is a special place and great tradition to play against a Hall of Fame coach. It's one of those things that these kids will remember.
When you came in here the first time as a coach, was it an intimidating experience?
No, because I came as an assistant. I was an assistant at Virginia. It was only intimidating when we were down about 30 and we hadn't shot a free throw yet.
Jones from the wing finds himself inside the arc. Now back up top for Thornton straight away. Kennard forced out of the shot. 3-pointer rattles it home. Kennard 22.
What do you have for Thanksgiving? Because whatever he had, he needs to have a little more of.
Moore gets a good look from 3. And the troubles continue from deep for Utah State, down 82-43.
You see Jalen Moore, his dad is an associate athletic director at Utah State. In fact, he was on the staff at Utah State when I was an assistant coach at Long Beach State. And he made the trip with their team, and how proud he has to be about for his kids. Not just Jalen, but Grayson, his other son. And well, both kids are terrific players, but the dad was a really good player. Over 1,000-point scorer, a terrific rebounder, and a great legacy right there for Utah State.
Jimmy played there 1972 to 1975 and finished his career with 1,164 points. And his sons carrying on his name for the Aggies. Jeter at the free throw line when we come back with Duke on their way to 6-1. 49 left in the game.
Hey, Dino, we're watching this game from up top. I'll tell you what, it's a lot less stressful watching the game from up here than sitting where Tim Duryea is. I can tell you that much.
Not going to be an easy one. Whoever comes in here at Utah State with a loss would fall to 4-1 under their first-year head coach.
Coaching's a tough job these days. You can win 9 football games and get the zig. I mean, it is unbelievable. Les Miles on the hot seat. Mark Ripp. What is going on? Do people think winning 9 games is easy?
You like this view up here? You have not sat the whole game. I've been very impressed by that.
I kind of like this vantage point, to be honest with you. There's no stress after the game. I'm going to be able to eat and actually taste the food. You know, I'll go back and watch the film when I feel like it. Get to hang out in Bristol with Jay Will. I mean, life is good.
Are you going to start wearing vests like he does?
No, he's got the swag. You know, I keep on telling him, you got to wear fitted suits. I said, this body's not built for fitted suits. I look like a pear.
That's how you can keep eating whatever you want. You don't have to worry about wearing a fitted suit.
Sitting up here, I didn't have to worry about working out this morning, which I did, because it's about 110 degrees. So it's a great old building. We throw a little air conditioning in here.
3:30 to play here in the game. You talk about coaches. Mark Richt getting fired at Georgia. It's been absolutely insane the last couple of weeks between rumors of Les Miles' demise at LSU, and he gets carried off the field last night.
That was cool, wasn't it?
It was. It was nice to see, but it shouldn't have happened. That's the thing. Is if Duke doesn't win a national title, no one's saying we want Mike Krzyzewski gone.
But I'll tell you one thing. When Coach K took this job, if that was today and he had the first 3 years he had, there might not be a Coach K court. There might not be 1,000 wins, because back then administrations were patient and gave people an opportunity to do their jobs. And expectation wasn't so unrealistic that 9-3, yeah, you lost some games maybe your teams wished you won, but that's a pretty good record. And you've recruited well and your program has done the right things on and off the field. It's tough.
Jalen Moore there with the bucket helps break about an 8-minute scoring drop at Utah State. Thornton with a quick drive and gets 2 off the window. His first 2 points of the afternoon after he came off the bench for this game. You talk about recruiting too. I think a lot of people may be under the impression, as there's a whistle under the basket, Antonio Vrankovic, the freshman from Florida, with the foul. There's an impression perhaps that because of the class that Duke had last year and the departures for the NBA, that Mike Krzyzewski is recruiting different players, but that's not really the case.
It's the culture of college basketball. You're going to recruit the best players in the country. The reality is that there's a good chance that they're not going to be there the next year. And it's not because they're Brandon Ingram. He is a terrific prospect. But the NBA is a futures market, and guys get drafted on their potential, not where they are, but where they're going. And whether it's Coach K or whether it's Coach Self or John Calipari, it's not easy to recruit a whole team each and every year, and it's surely not easy to get a young group of guys to trust each other, to compete, and to play to win. And that's why Coach K and Cal and Bill, Tom Izzo, these guys do it better than anyone there is. I mean, what Tom Izzo's been able to do is just, to me, remarkable. How hard they play, how much they trust each other, and how they continue to get better as the season goes along. 501 wins now for Izzo?
I don't know the exact number.
That's pretty good.
Going at the free throw line. This is the back end. The roommate of Chase Jeter, the star freshman in this class.
Duke goes a little zone.
And it turns into 3 points for Chris Smith, the leading scorer on the year, who's largely been silenced today. Now up to 13. We're under 2 minutes to play.
Coach Gay's gone deep into the bench, and this is really good because you've had your team here all the Thanksgiving. Your players have missed the Thanksgiving with their families. This is really difficult. This time of the year is really hard on your basketball team. Think about this. They're going to have a break for Christmas. That will be the last time these players get a chance to go home until after the NCAA tournament. These guys probably got here in July. They've been here through Thanksgiving. They'll get a couple of days probably during Christmas. And then from there on out, right, it's school and basketball.
It's a lot of a mental dedication to be able to consistently excel at a high level. That comes up short. Nick Pagliuca, the junior, with the rebound. They're playing in his 17th career game today. Now a minute 15 to play at Cameron Indoor. Duke on its way to 6-1.
How many times did you go home when you were in school?
Rarely. I was usually calling either a men's or a women's basketball game over the break.
You're so big time. I forget.
Now the schedule coming up here. It's Indiana up next for the Blue Devils.
And I love Indiana. They've struggled in Hawaii, but that's going to be a very good basketball team. And people are just totally unfair to Tom Crean right now. He's done a good job. He's added some pieces. They've recruited well. Whoa.
Strong finish from Perry going baseline. And it's been the mob mentality, too, for Tom Crean, don't you think? We were talking about with football coaches.
The hardest thing is when you lose momentum. It is hard to regain momentum from your fan base. And it's really unfair because he basically rebuilt the program. He's gotten to the tournament. Last year he did a great job coaching that team in a style that put him in position to win some games. That Duke-Indiana game will be a very good basketball game.
Be a nice matchup as we've seen the post players. Hunley, Jefferson get better and better this season against Thomas Bryant for Indiana.
And, this will be a great learning experience for this Utah State team that's going to play one more game on the road, and then when they get into league play, they're going to be very competitive in the Mountain West.
Moore with the left, doesn't get it. Brankovic the rebound, and that does it. It's Duke 85 and Utah State 52. The Blue Devils win their NCAA best 120th straight non-conference home game and improve to 6-1.
Coach K wanted to see his team compete on the defensive end. He wanted to see them to be alert and make Utah State react to them defensively, and he did just that. And offensively, getting Luke Kennard on track in terms of a big picture is huge for the Blue Devils.
Kennard had 12 in their last game today, a game high 22, shooting 4 of